Behind every legend lies a reason. This is Myth and Motive.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Besides Laos, Cambodia has also been one of our Vietnam's closest brothers. When mentioning Cambodia, people often recall the Vietnamese army against Pol Pot, but forget that Cambodia is also a beautiful country with world-famous temples, traditional Islara dances, and beautiful beaches. Moreover, there once existed a powerful Khmer Empire here that terrified Southeast Asian countries but suddenly disappeared for unknown reasons. Certainly, there are still many things about this pagoda country that you might not expect. All of these will be covered in today's video. Among the three Indochina countries, Cambodia is the smallest in area with only 181,035 square kilometers. Half of the country is plains, concentrated in the south and southeast, while the rest consists of hills and mountains. Cambodia's river system is concentrated in main basins such as Tonle Sap Lake and the Gulf. Cambodia borders Thailand to the west and northwest. It borders Vietnam to the east. It borders Laos to the northeast. Cambodia has a tropical climate with two distinct seasons: the rainy season from May to October and the dry season from November to April. Temperatures in Cambodia range from 21 to 35 degrees Celsius. Cambodia's population is about 16 million, with approximately 90% being Khmer and ethnic minorities. The official language used in this country is Khmer. Buddhism is the state religion in Cambodia, with over 90% of the population following Buddhism. Additionally, Cambodians also follow other religions such as Christianity. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, before Cambodia was born, there once existed a powerful Khmer Empire. At the beginning of the Common Era, in the southern part of the Indochina Peninsula, the state of Funan was born, followed by China. By the early 9th century, on the territory of Funan and China, the Khmer kingdom emerged, with its capital. After its establishment, the Khmer quickly became a powerful empire, with the largest area in Southeast Asia, reaching up to 1 million. The greatest legacy of the Khmer Empire is Angkor, the capital of this empire during its peak. Angkor is evidence of the strength and prosperity of the Khmer Empire and also embodies the various beliefs that this empire adopted. But strangely, by the year 1400, the Khmer Empire suddenly disappeared. The cause of the rapid collapse of such a great dynasty is still debated by historians, and over the past decades, historians have provided countless explanations for the demise of one of the greatest civilizations in human history. Some experts argue that the cause was conflict with other nations, while many assert that this empire was destroyed due to land. But according to Brandon Buckley, a climate expert from Columbia University in the U.S., reliable evidence has been found that the Khmer Empire declined due to a lack of water resources for agricultural production in daily life. This situation paralyzed the large-scale irrigation system of Angkor, the empire's capital, which was crucial for the agricultural economy. The culprit behind the water scarcity was two severe droughts caused by climate change. Whatever the reason, the Khmer Empire disappeared to make way for the emergence of modern Cambodia. Sharing the same fate as most Southeast Asian countries, Cambodia also became a target for colonial empires. In the 1860s, French colonists entered Indochina. In 1863, France forced King Norodom to sign a treaty placing Cambodia under French protection. And by 1884, Cambodia completely became a French colony. In 1941, after ascending the throne, Norodom Sihanouk campaigned for the struggle to regain Cambodia's independence. After more than 10 years of continuous fighting, on November 9, 1953, France declared the return of independence to Cambodia. November 9th was chosen as Cambodia's National Day. In April 1955, Norodom Sihanouk abdicated, passing the throne to Norodom Surmari. In 1960, King Norodom Surmari passed away. Norodom Sihanouk received recognition from the parliament and assumed the position of head of state of Cambodia. In March 1970, Lord Nol staged a coup to overthrow head of state Norodom Sihanouk and established the Khmer Republic regime in October 1970. But only 5 years later, Pol Pot overthrew the Khmer Republic and established democratic Kampuchea. From here, Cambodia fell into a dark period, as if living in hell. This was also the time when Vietnam was both defending its own country and striving. Since coming to power, Pol Pot began implementing a genocidal regime, in turn killing millions of innocent people, destroying hundreds of thousands of schools, hospitals. Cambodian patriotic forces faced an extremely difficult. As Cambodian Prime Minister Hun said, "We had nothing but empty hands and awaited death." Not only brutal domestically, Pol Pot frequently expressed intentions to attack the Pol Pot fleet, Yang Seri, distorted history, incited and stirred up at In just 2 years from 1975 to 1977, they deployed 41% of their troops and equipment to the Vietnamese border, committing bloody crimes against our people, seriously violating the independence, sovereignty, and territorial, trampling on the good values and the friendly relations between the two countries and peoples. To protect the sacred sovereignty of the fatherland and the lives and property of the people, while also contributing to helping the neighboring country of Cambodia, the Vietnamese army decided to reinforce its troops from April 30, 1977 to January 5, 1978. Pol Pot continuously launched 3 large-scale attacks but all were repelled by our force. Using the tactic of both robbing and crying foul, on December 31, they issued a statement falsely accusing the Vietnamese army of invading them in order to isolate Vietnam internationally. On the same day, our government issued a statement clarifying its stance and principles, firmly defending independence, sovereignty, and respecting the independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, and doing everything possible to protect the fighting solidarity and friendship between Vietnam. Subsequently, from January 6, 1978 to January 7, Pol Pot continued to approach our country's border and infiltrate many areas of Vietnam. In response to Pol Pot's acts of aggression and answering the urgent call of the Kampuchean United Front for Nationals, on December 23, 1978, Vietnamese volunteer forces together with Cambodia launched a counterattack, striking along the entire borderline. On December 26, 1978, the entire outer defense system of Pol Pot's forces was. By December 31, 1978, our troops and people had completed the task of recovering all the territorial sovereignty of the fatherland that had been occupied. On January 2, 1979, 3 main force routes of Pol Pot, each blocking the routes of Phnom Penh, were essentially destroyed and disbanded. On January 5 and 6, 1979, on all fronts, Vietnamese volunteer forces and Cambodian revolutionary advancing close to the capital Phnom. On January 7, 1979, the capital Phnom Penh and the People's Republic of Kampuchea was. By May 1993, the first general election took place in Cambodia, organized by the United Nations. A total of over 4 million Cambodians participated in this election. Prince Norodom Ranariddh of the Royalist group received the highest votes with 45.5%. Followed by Hun Sen of the Cambodian People's Party and Son San of the Buddhist Liberal Democratic Party. Although victorious, they did not achieve an overwhelming majority of over 50. The Royalist group had to negotiate a coalition with the Cambodian People's Party led by Hun Sen to form a government. After negotiations, Prince Ranariddh and Hun Sen became the first Prime Minister and second Prime Minister in the Royal Government of Cambodia. On September 24, 1993, the new parliament and the coalition government of the Cambodian People's Party named the country the Kingdom of Cambodia. Norodom Sihanouk ascended the throne for the second time, turning Cambodia to a new page. Peace did not last long, as by 1997, the conflict between the two factions of Hun Sen and Norodom Ranariddh, with many casualties on both sides. The Norodom Ranariddh faction criticized Hun Sen, claiming it was a coup staged by Hun Sen to eliminate political rivals. Conversely, the Hun Sen faction accused the Royalist group of seeking support. On July 5, 1997, in Kampong Speu Province, soldiers loyal to Hun Sen commanded by General K. Kim Yan surrounded the barracks of soldiers loyal to Ranariddh commanded by General Go Bun She. K. Kim Yan attempted to persuade Go Bun She to hand over the barracks but failed. At the same time, military police loyal to Hun Sen entered the home of General Chow Samut, a senior leader of the Royalist group, and demanded the soldiers lay down their weapons. General Go Bun She ordered an attack on General K. Kim Yan's faction, causing significant loss. The fighting spread to the Tang Karachang military post in Phnom Penh International Airport, where many Ranariddh loyalist forces were concentrated. Prime Minister Hun Sen, who was vacationing in Vietnam at the time, quickly returned to the country and ordered his guard units to join the battle. As troops attempted to attack Hun Sen, Hun Sen's faction quickly took control of the capital. The Ranariddh faction allied with the Khmer Rouge in northern Cambodia continued fighting Hun Sen's faction until September 1997 when it ended. After being defeated by Hun Sen, former Prime Minister Norodom Ranariddh went into exile. Many senior leaders of the Royalist group were imprisoned, and Hun Sen consolidated. However, at that time Hun Sen had not yet become the sole Prime Minister. As before this incident, An Uo held the position until the 1998 elections. In 1998, Cambodia held general elections again. The leaders of the Royalist group and Prince Norodom Ranariddh officially returned to their homeland to participate as Cambodian people. Norodom Ranariddh's Royalist group won 32% of the vote and the San Rainsy party won 13% of the vote. However, the election was criticized as fraudulent and biased in favor of Hun Sen. As a result, Hun Sen became Prime Minister of Cambodia. Hun Sen held this position from 1998 to 2020, then transferred power to his son Hun Man. Although a small country, Cambodia has things of international stature. Most notably the Angkor Temple complex, located about 6 kilometers north of Siem Reap. The Angkor Temple complex was built by King Suryavarman II in the first half of the 12th century. The entire complex covers an area of over 400. Surrounding the temple is a deep and wide moat. Originally designed to worship Hindu gods, but later due to the strong integration and development of Buddhism, Angkor Wat converted to worship Buddhism. The Angkor Temple complex has over 1,000 temples, of different sizes and shapes bearing the distinct Khmer architectural style. The famous temples are Angkor Wat and Angkor Thom, decorated with countless carved ornaments. This complex is influenced by ancient Khmer art with a unique architectural style. The towers, temples, bas-reliefs and vast corridors are all made of stone blocks, stacked on top of each other looking very nice. Even on the dome covers, stone decorative motifs such as Buddhist statues and lotus patterns illustrating the Ramayana and Mahabharata epics are all very lively and solemn. The temple architecture mimics the shape of India's Great Mount Bailey. The central tower reaches up to 65 meters high, symbolizing the mythical mount, with surrounding towers corresponding to surrounding mountains. This entire structure was built using sandstone and laterite. All those large stone blocks were stacked on top of each other without any adhesive or steel reinforcement. Another extremely important feature of Angkor is the irrigation system built over many times. The irrigation system of the area relies on large reservoirs. These reservoirs not only help the daily life of local residents, and also contributes to the development of the economic infrastructure. Angkor Wat is the temple with the most massive architecture in the entire Angkor complex. It has a main entrance facing west, directly towards. The temple has 398 rooms, connected by 1,500. Above, 5 towers are linked through 3 architectural tiers, with the tallest tower reaching 65 meters and 4 subsidiary towers. The road leading to the main gate of Angkor Wat is also made of stone blocks, 230 meters long, and 5 meters above the water level of the lakes on both sides. The entire temple preserves ancient traces with many stone carving marks, such as giant bas-reliefs, columns, doors, wall bases, corridors, railings, and all demonstrate the extraordinary strength and skillful hands of the ancient. Equally important is Angkor Thom, the powerful capital of the former Khmer Empire. Angkor Thom possesses prominent temples and architecture like Bayon Temple, Ba Phuong Temple and Phnom Ba Khan Temple on the hilltop. Among them, Bayon Temple leaves the strongest impression on visitors. They are completely captivated by its exquisite and vibrant. The temple is composed of 50 stone towers. Its core is an architectural complex built in a stepped style, with 16 main stupas and many small towers interconnected. The next name associated with the Kingdom of Cambodia is Tonle Sap Lake, which is considered the largest freshwater lake in Southeast. Tonle Sap Lake is not just an ordinary lake but a complex system, combining lake and river, playing a vital role in the lives of Cambodian people. The hydrological system changes its flow direction, creating a diverse and rich ecosystem of flora. The lake with its large perimeter around southern provinces is home to many communities of Vietnam. They build floating wooden houses, living amidst green forests or near rivers flowing into the lake. Khmer New Year is celebrated in April each year, marking the end of the harvest season. This is when Cambodian families begin harvesting before the rainy season starts around June. When the rain comes, the Mekong River water rises and the flow from Tonle Sap Lake reverses. The biodiversity of Tonle Sap Lake is very unique. Surrounding the lake are mangrove forests, tropical forests, swamps, forming habitats for many animal species such as over 300 freshwater fish species, snakes, crocodiles, turtle, along with over 100 water bird species like storks and Prek Pol Bird Sanctuary located in the western part of the lake is an ideal destination for birdwatching enthusiasts. Besides rare bird species, this place also has various reptiles, fish, mammals, and insects. Some rare species like Siamese crocodiles, crab-eating macaques, gray-legged pelicans, and spoonbills are all facing.
Tonle Sap Lake is not only home to the water snake and Hydrus longicauda but also hosts many endangered species.
Annually, approximately 6.9 billion snakes. Many snake species are the main food source for birds, and this reduction would seriously affect biodiversity. Snakes are also used as food for both humans and crocodiles, especially as the number of crocodile farms increases. UNESCO recognized the Tonle Sap Lake area as a World Biosphere Reserve since 1997, while establishing strict regulations and laws to conserve this area. The more we learn about Cambodia, the more we see it as a country with many interesting aspects. The Cambodian flag is the only national flag in the world featuring art. The Cambodian flag consists of 3 horizontal stripes of blue, red, and blue with a white Angkor Wat image in the center. The Angkor Wat image in the center of the flag symbolizes the integrity and justice of the people and is Cambodia's cultural heritage, while representing Theravada Buddhism, the main religion of this country. Previously, Cambodian tourism was not well developed despite possessing many World Heritage Sites. It seems that just through one movie, the number of tourists visiting this country increased. If anyone has watched the movie Two Raider, or known in Vietnamese as Hay Quat Lang Mo, they would find the film's setting very familiar. Many people still mistakenly believe it's a temple in India or America, but it turns out the movie was filmed at Pat Ram,
now one of the most visited temples in the country.
The success of the film has strongly impacted Cambodia's tourism industry. Thousands of people from around the world flock to this destination to admire the famous temples. Here, tourism ranks second after the garment industry in Cambodia's economy.
That Cambodia is a Buddhist country may not be too surprising.
However, up to 95% of Cambodians follow Theravada Buddhism. Buddhism has been propagated in this country since the 5th century AD and has been the state religion from the 13th century. Most holidays celebrated in Cambodia are related to Buddhism, such as the New Year festival held in April and the PC Hum Ban festival, where Cambodians pay respect to their deceased ancestors. From April 13th to 15th every year, Cambodia is bustling with New Year celebrations. Throughout the 3-day Cambodian New Year, the atmosphere across the country is lively, with bright lights and flowers and temples extending to the roads leading to the royal palace. Residents and tourists alike pour into the streets to participate in street festival activities, water splashing, and sneering. Community-based New Year activities mainly take place at pagodas, schools, and cultural activities. About 5 days before the New Year, Cambodians begin visiting pagodas and making offerings to show reverence, wishing for good things in the new year.
In Cambodia, beliefs deeply influence people's lives.
On the first day of the new year, each family usually brings food to the pagoda for monks to perform ceremonies offering food. According to Cambodian beliefs, the more pagodas one visits, the more wealth and luck they will have in the new year. In front of pagodas during the new year, Cambodians build 5 conical sand mounds symbolizing Mount Bay. Those seeking love and fortune walk around the sand mounds, praying and inserting real notes, which is Cambodian currency. Curry and palm wine are indispensable dishes during the Southern New Year celebration. On the streets, people gather joyfully as if at a festival, especially in the evening when they prepare ceremonies, eat, participating in street festival activities like water splashing is, the more water one is splashed with, the more luck will. What's special about this country also includes the dances. Cambodians are passionate about every move. Fireworks light up the sky, leading through every hour. On New Year's Eve, the moment of transition between the old and new year, every family makes beautiful lanterns, then releases them on the lake surface, with thousands of lanterns floating shimmeringly, and people believe that the family whose lantern is both beautiful and stays lit all night will encounter many good things in the new year. Besides the traditional new year, PC Hum Ban is also an important occasion for Cambodians, held annually from October 13th to 15th. If Vietnam has the Vu Lan Festival, then Cambodia has the PC Hum Ban Festival. This is an occasion for Cambodians to express respect and gratitude towards deceased relatives and their ancestors. During the festival days, people in the land of pagodas bring food and fruits to pagodas for offerings, dedicating merits to the deceased. PC Hum Ban is one of the 3 largest and most important festivals of the year in Cambodia, along with the traditional New Year Chul Shan the May and the boat racing festival with moon offerings and floats. During the festival days, in each residential area associated with pagodas, people in the land of pagodas often wake up early to prepare rice, food, and fruits, especially to bring to pagodas for offerings to monks, dedicating merits to the deceased. According to traditional beliefs, Cambodians still maintain the custom of offering rice balls at dawn during the Hum Ban day, a traditional ritual associated with PC Hum Ban, with the intention of sending food to non-human beings, hungry ghosts, and wandering spirits. When visiting Cambodia, people will see tuk-tuks moving frequently on the roads. Not only Thailand but Cambodia also uses tuk-tuks as a common means of transportation. Cambodian tuk-tuks consist of a motorcycle pulling a trailer, specifically for passengers. These vehicles date back to the colonial era and are also called remorque, from French meaning trailer. Like many other countries, Cambodian weddings are very expensive. Traditional weddings in this country are filled with rituals, interwoven with attractive outfits and non-stop parties that can last up to 3 days and nights. However, Cambodian funerals are also equally expensive. The average funeral cost for Cambodians often amounts. This is a large sum of money in a country where the average monthly salary is under 100. Families often have to save their entire lives and sell major assets to arrange funerals for their relatives. Typically, in religious countries, they set many taboos. Cambodia is no exception. When you come here, you absolutely must not behave disrespectfully towards the royal family. Cambodians deeply respect and hold great reverence for the royal family. Therefore, any disrespectful actions, rude gestures, or negative words about members of the royal family are unacceptable. Not only the royal family but also many temples are absolutely solemn areas because Buddhism is the state religion of this country. Cambodia is famous for countless temples, palaces, and shrines, so when visiting these areas, tourists should not wear short skirts, revealing clothes, or flip-flops. Tourists must not touch Buddha statues, Buddha pedestals, historical relics, or display artifacts. Moreover, you must protect temple property, avoid scribbling, damaging, or losing items. Another important point is that women must not touch or stand close to monks. If you buy Buddhist statues or Buddhist display items in Cambodia as souvenirs, cherish and respect them, placing them in solemn places, avoiding keeping them in pant pockets, as it is an insult to Buddhism in Cambodia. Tourists should not photograph the royal family and temples in Cambodia without permission. If intentionally violated, you may be warned, fined, or even detained.
One point to note when coming to Cambodia is that some everyday normal gestures could get you into trouble here.
If in Vietnam, patting heads is considered an intimate gesture from adults to children, in Cambodia, it is seen as rude behavior. Because the head is an important and sacred part, it should not be touched casually. Only parents and respected elders are allowed to pat. Similarly, feet are considered dirty by Cambodians, so you should avoid pointing your feet at others or sitting with your feet pointing towards others. Especially royal family members and monks, if you don't want trouble.
For the people here, the left hand is not considered clean, so when giving money or gifts, use your right hand to show respect.
Not only that, excessive public displays of affection, dressing against local customs, or flirting with Cambodian girls are also behaviors that annoy locals. Therefore, pay attention and be careful so your trip doesn't encounter any regrets.
Re-invited to visit someone.
Like some other Asian countries, when visiting a Cambodian home, you should leave your shoes outside and arrange them neatly before entering. When invited to a home for a meal, don't eat before the host. Let them start first and observe the column, showing politeness. Especially, you should bring some fruit or sweets to express gratitude for their time preparing the meal for you.
Moreover, the eldest in the family will eat first, and you eat afterward, as a sign of respect. Tea too hard to do. Just pay a little attention, and you can earn the host.
Tourists must always remember that Cambodians are very hospitable and friendly, but when in Rome, do as the Romans do. If you engage in actions beyond acceptable limits, you'll face big trouble, possibly even
Today's video has clearly shown us a Cambodia that, though small, holds things that make the world admire.
Cultural diversity, majestic nature, and friendly people make Cambodia a mesmerizing living museum. Anyone who has set foot in Cambodia cannot forget the presence of Angkor Wat, Tonle Sap Lake, the beautiful landscapes across the country, and the unique, unmistakable cultural features. This will be an ideal destination for souls who love experiences but also seek peace.
Subscribe to the Guy and Migo channel so you don't miss exciting videos.
If the legend hooked you, subscribe and open the next case.